point, he asked me to send my nude pictures.
Gang.
Not in India. They are saying
No.
Nigeria.
In my country, we don't do this. As well, don't you?
Let's accept one.
No.
We are back. Hi guys, you're welcome to another episode of My Teenagers and I. And I am A Verse, as you know. In today's world, social media has become a vital part of our everyday lives. But for the teenagers, it's more than just a tools for communication. It's a way of life. Survey have shown that 90% of the teenagers have used social media and 75% has a social media profile. 1% of these teenagers reporting visiting the social media at least once daily. I came across this worrisome news of a 15 years old girl on 20 body count for an iPhone. Now, this brings me to a question. At what age should a teenager should be able to access the internet or have a social media profile? But then we have to hear this from the teenager's point of view too. So Johnny Will in the discussion today is Darasimi. Can you say hi to the viewers at home? Hi. So I have a queen. I call her Queen Ersta. She's a queen. Yeah. So can you say hi to the
Hi.
Yes, you can. My question was that at what age should a teenager should be given a phone or to have a social media profile?
What age should a teenager be given a phone? I'd say 14 to 15 thereabouts, around that JSS3, SS1, SS2 range.
Okay.
And that is why, because around that age, there's a lot of noise, there's peer pressure. So it's choking. So when they are showing their displeasure to their parents, guardians, they could be looking for it from the action that they are surrounded with people that have, and they are the ones in need. So they are the ones in need. So it's a different perspective from the teenager to the parents, the guardian. So giving them could also be kind of relating to their needs because they could need a phone. A phone is not a total disadvantage.
Of course, it's not, but it has.
So we can create countermeasures for the disadvantages.
Okay.
Filter search, monitoring whatever they check on their phones, creating a timetable to work out.
Okay. When should they have social media profile?
Social media profile. I wouldn't say in secondary school. Life starts after secondary school. Secondary school is kind of just a preliminary phase.
Okay, and so Queen Esther.
Okay, so from my opinion, for the first question, when should a teenager have a phone?
Yes.
I will say after they are done with their secondary school. Now, I would like to give an example. I have a friend, not just a friend, two. They are sisters actually from the same family. So I've known them for a very long time, and I found out that their parents didn't let them have a phone throughout their secondary school. In fact, the only phone they had access to was a small phone. So as she said, countermeasures. That was their parents' countermeasures for them. Now it wasn't giving them a phone, and because really you cannot always monitor what they do from morning till the end of
That
the day.
is it. That is it.
And even if you give them a phone and tell them, okay, you put your filter search, you're not supposed to do this, parent gadget on the phone that don't do this. They have other friends outside that they could use, and we have friends that are so helpful. I agree to disagree. That will willingly give you when even though they know this is what they want to use it to do.
Sisters, supporting sisters.
Seriously.
That's supportive.
Because then I feel like their parents do not understand. They feel like their parents are outdated. Like this is what is in vogue now. Like how will you tell me don't do this, don't search for this? Now back to my friends I was talking about. Now their parents didn't let them have it because they wanted them to concentrate. Now in this dispensation, this time, teenagers now will say their parents are just trying to make them a nerd, like they just want them to be a bookworm, actually. But their parent wanted them to concentrate on what they were doing, and it helped them because even when they were in secondary school, they had so much prizes. Imagine the end of the year party, and you have best in physics,
Wow.
best in this, best in that, and
Wow.
they keep calling them back.
Wow,
It got
that
to
is
a
awesome.
point
Wow.
the school even had to tell them, once they called them for, they just said them to stay because the school already knows
Then they want
that
it all.
they are going to win almost all the prize. So it got to a point the school reduced it, so it helped them.
Okay.
So it got to a point even after they had left school and they got the phone, they were so used to not being pressured by they have a phone now, so they have to do this. So even after they left school, they wanted to get into university. It was easy for them to leave their phone and concentrate when they wanted to do something else.
Because they are not addicted to it.
Exactly. Now back to the second question, social media. When should they have a social media page? Now I would still like to use my friends as an example. Now even when they had the small phone, they had a social media account, but they were restricted. So they couldn't do much things, and actually they were not so worried about it because they were used to it. Now I'll now use myself as an example. Now when I was in secondary school, I had a small phone. My parents didn't let me use a smartphone then, so I was on social media because I was not so used to it too. Probably when they even sent me friend requests, I wasn't so into it. So the people I spoke to then were my friends that were actually in my circle that time. But then there was this guy that actually came to me and he proposed that he would like to date me.
Okay.
And I said no. But then he said, okay, let's just do it for like a month. And a month actually became 7 months actually.
Wow.
So but then as it went forward, it got to a point he asked me to send my nude pictures. It was because of the peer pressure I had then, I was actually trying to send him my nude pictures. But literally, I was trying to go around the house, taking my phone, the little phone I had, to snap myself,
That right.
to send it to him. But it wasn't possible for me to do it. I was restricted. So I was like, I just told him, I'm sorry, I cannot send it. Now the
Thank God
pressure.
for the little phone she has. If not, as me, it's a smartphone.
Seriously, the deed would have been done.
So the small
Yes,
phone
in
was
fact.
a countermeasure.
Exactly, as I said. So it was a countermeasure that my parents gave me. So some parents feel like even they can give their children a phone at any age. In fact, I see little children that are not even up to 3 years that have their own iPads. Now,
Yeah,
there's
in
nothing
fact,
wrong with
you know,
that.
even like 1 year, you can still give them the smartphone, they still then operating it.
Yeah, that's the
Really?
dispensation
And
we're
the
in
thing
now.
is, now I don't even
But
have
then
any.
we have to call some mention, we have to bring in some mention to all this.
And in fact, after that time, my parents didn't give me a phone even after I left secondary
I
school.
want to ask, sorry for continuation. When you didn't send him your new picture, did you continue with the relationship or you stopped or you ended?
Oh no, actually I found out later that he was actually double dating. Wow. Like literally the girl he was dating sent a message to me and was like, I just had to, I said I'm hands out, like I didn't know this was going on.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
I'm
Can
sorry.
you imagine? Do you know this bring me to I can remember this story in fact when I was in school. She's a friend, like a distant friend anyway, not that close friend. Like our boyfriend asked her to send a nude picture, which she did. Okay, do you know what he did? He sent these pictures to all his friends. He sent the pictures and one of them was kind enough to call the lady and like, hello, what happened? Why did you send this picture to this? They say, what? At first, you're like, what picture? And I said, didn't you send the picture to your guy? Say, I don't understand you. And the guy just forwarded the pictures back to her. I said, you know, for a month, she wasn't herself. She was down totally. But thank God for our pastor where we stayed in. It was the pastor that helped her come over it and like, she said, what do you do? And he told the pastor, this. And I said, okay, they have to. Okay, talk to her. So imagine that kind of scenario. So I think she was using those one small
Those
phone.
little phones.
Those little
yeah.
phones. She wouldn't be able to send.
That'd be
And
ridiculous.
maybe she could have, if she had a better understanding that, okay, I don't need to send my picture or my nude picture to this person, no matter who you are to me, she wouldn't have done that.
Okay, I think that goes back to my point of countermeasures.
Okay.
So if she had parents or guardians
She
that
has parents.
that let her know,
No, okay.
like open their minds to it.
Yes.
Don't hide it.
This
Because
goes to the
this
parents now.
generation-
I'm talking to the parents. This goes to the parents now. What are those things that the parents need to do to help the teenagers now? Okay.
Now this is it. I say it over and over again. Countermeasures. This generation, their mind absorbs things very fast. And you sometimes the parents look at them to be so young and don't expect some certain things. But these people would be much more wiser than you.
They're
Like
very
now,
smart.
Like now, I said filter search, all of those things. What if that child already understands and knows how that you do filter search and all? So maybe when they are done, they have cleared the browser history. Then before you come back, they've already quickly search, and maybe they now search for sensible things after. Really, yes. But when they know who they are and why they ought not to go with these things, that's another countermeasure. The countermeasure of filter search, all of those ones is the software management. Then the one that's outside, the one of reminding them who they are, let them know these things. Because sometimes these children just live their lives like just a normal day. We go to school, this and that. But most of them don't know who they are, why they are here, and what to drive at. If a child has a goal, like I want to become a doctor, and I know that these are certain things that I need to do to become a doctor, it's kind of like it just the heart absorbs it. That's why it starts from being a child before even teenage.
Now go back to you now. At your point, just what you just said now. You're taking it back to the parents that the parents are the one that need to do all the needful for the teenagers. So
I would say all, because it's not only the parents.
because you know there are some parents that they'll put in those measures that make them to understand who they are, know your goal, this is who you are, do this, do that. And there are some teenagers with all those teaching and everything. They also go out to do it.
That's the thing about peer pressure. Because there's this popular saying, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So this circle also has an effect. Literally every part of life has an effect. The neighborhood that we live in has an effect. Our parents, our home background has an effect. Our school, our friends has an effect. If we can find a way to balance these things, it could work out.
Okay. Do you have any other thing to say?
From what you said, going back, so I said I couldn't send my pictures to him, so I just let it go.
Okay.
But then I was like, as she said, the countermeasures were different. That was my parent countermeasures. It even got to a point when they found that I was actually texting a guy, they still seized the small phone from me.
They still seized
Exactly.
small phone.
Exactly. That was it wasn't even a smartphone.
So then that goes to each child having different personalities.
Exactly. So they knew, okay, they didn't let me use it for possibly weeks or months. So I wasn't with him. And then, because my parents are Christians, so they wanted, and there's this Bible verse that says, train up a child in the way you should go. So when it grows up, he will not depart from it. Now, from what they taught me, now I have told myself, when I grow up, like I get older and I become a mother, there are things I will tell my children. I will not let them. So every parent's countermeasure is different. Now some parents give it to their children, let them use it. As she said, tells them who they are, and make sure the friends they surround themselves with are good. And that is why we even have parents. Sometimes you see some children that are saying, my parents are praying for me, my parents are praying for me. So they have that part too. Even after they've made their physical countermeasures, they try to make sure they have spiritual countermeasures actually.
Okay, then every aspect has to be balanced.
Exactly, just like
going
she
to
said.
the personality of each kid, because you can have 3 kids. One, you can easily talk to him and he will listen.
Understand.
But
Yeah,
the other
exactly,
one,
yeah.
you have to use maybe part of spare the rod. for the child. So if you use the rod, he's gonna abide.
Yeah, some of them. So it's just different because not my personality is different from yours, your personality is different from hers.
Okay, my last question is that is the social media does it have a total disadvantage on the teenagers?
No, it doesn't. Because from social media, you can learn a lot of skills. A lot of
Yes.
skills. You can learn. You can even learn to even speak like those outside the country. The thing is, let your child find his or her passion.
Okay.
So if I love to sing, then you create a way that going on social media, when I'm singing songs and songs that can help me, songs that can make me become a better singer. All of those measures, or you can even throw me into a music school. So what is the main thing that I'm driving at? Songs, because it's my passion. So that goes back to the personality of the kid, personality
Okay.
of the parents.
And you?
For my opinion, I notice it's impossible to say you cannot let them have access to it. So, because if you keep them away from internet, it's like you're trying to bring them back to the old age. That's impossible. You're going to keep them outdated. Imagine their mates talking about some things, like good things, and they're like, they don't understand like what exactly are you talking about. So even though internet has its bad side, it also has its good side, just as she said. And internet has really made life very easy for those that want to find it in the good part. So there's internet is not totally
Okay, it's the access of and too much of it.
exactly.
Okay,
We have to
if I
keep
if
it
we should
balanced.
keep on with this discussion, we will go on and on and on and on and on and on. But then we need to give it a wrap up for this session. We need to give now I want to just give me take for make it your take for a girl of 15 years old on a 20 body cam for an iPhone. Don't you think the teenagers should be totally banned from the social media?
From my point of view, for the girl that has a 20 body count just to get an iPhone, I feel it could be as a disadvantage of social media. But just as we said, we've seen the disadvantages and we also see that the advantages. Not everyone actually go on social media to do those wrong things. We have some people, we meet new people on social media, make new friends, do this. But as I said before, internet, it's like from the start, it's almost like it has, when you look at internet, it's almost like it has a wrong thing. Internet might even like send to you. You've not seen people that they are going through their phone and they just a pop up. Exactly, just a pop up. Exactly. It's like as if internet has almost even been programmed to do the wrong thing.
Because those are the most searched things.
Exactly, it's the most searched thing.
So you both agree with me that the teenagers should be banned, totally banned from social media.
No,
Social media.
no. I feel like the girl must have felt that she's deprived of something. That's why she started chasing it. But now she went about it the wrong way. And I feel like iPhone in this case should not even be a necessity. As having something to communicate, not bad. But actually driving, I think it's just the wrong orientation. Just here. That's what I see. The wrong orientation.
And it could be peer pressure. Imagine having your 6 and 4 of your friends are using an iPhone. And we know the way friends are, that those that are not really true friends, they will always try to intimidate you or make you feel like you're missing out of things. There were times I was my friends, I was possibly the only one without a phone, but I didn't feel like I was lacking something because they were true friends. So there were times they released what they were doing. They released their phone, for me to use them for the things I wanted to do. So I believe if she had friends around her, she had the wrong group of friends.
Okay. Now I believe all the teenagers, even not the teenagers alone, the parents out there, you have heard from what the teenagers have said, the both are Dara, Simi, and Esther. Now, to my dear parents out there, when you're giving out the phone, let it put on all the necessary all the necessary measures, the things for them to do, like expose them, educate them what to do and what not to do. And also to my beloved teenagers too, when you're being given this phone, know that you're much more important than anything social media needs have to offer you. Please don't throw out yourself to to the social media because you just want to belong or have what your friend have. Don't let the peer pressure of social media get into you. You're more precious than that. Thank you.